What's going on, YouTube? Claic Yuzolt back again, and I'm finally home when they do a 7-star batch opening. That's right, guys. If you didn't know, check your in-game news. A bunch of stuff just hit, along with the next batch of 7-star awakenings. I am so excited. We're going to go over half of them in this video, and then we're going to hit half of them in the next one. So, very, very excited. We're starting off with one of the most anticipated 7-star awakenings for me, and that's Barbariccia, Barbie girl. We got to learn about her. She got her 7-star awakening this time, along with Zargaboth, but we'll be talking about Zargaboth in the next video. For this one, we're going to be talking about Barbariccia. So, again, was a global exclusive for a long time until JP got her, but JP got her as a 4-star base, so she will be a 7-star exclusive, it seems like, here for us on global. Let's look at the STMR here. It's Barbariccia's Bangles. All right, let's click on that and look at what that is. An accessory that gives you Magic 50, HP 20, MP 20. Very strong. Magic Flat 50 is great. Wind resist 50%, also stellar, and then gives Winds of Chaos. Increased modifier on Aurora, and Tornado. Also modifiers on Arrow 1, Aroga 5, Erosia, and Raging Wind. And you'll learn about what Raging Wind is later. It's a move that Barbariccia gets. But Erosia? Are you kidding me? Tornado? Let's go. Really strong STMR. Even anybody that can do any of these abilities is going to be good on, because they're going to be a magic damage dealing unit with 50 magic. A Trust Master you should definitely be picking up. Very strong. Let's move on down and see what she gets at 7 stars. So first off, we see a cooldown ability here, Tempest Eye, okay? It's a 5-turn cooldown. Remember, when they're typed into this wiki, it counts the first turn that you actually use it. So 5-turn cooldown available in turn 1. Lightning and wind magic damage 12 times to all enemies. And read this correctly. Decrease lightning and wind resist 120% for 4 turns to all enemies. This is going to help out so, like, it's so massive. This Imperil. It is more than almost any unit in the game could do. Lightning resist 120%. Hello, Heo Chainers. All right, put the lightning on him. Just go to town. Use this turn 1. Go to town for 4 turns. This thing has a 5-turn cooldown. Essentially, you'll have 1 turn where the Imperil is not happening. And to just put icing on the cake, it chains with Tornado. An extremely powerful ability. 120 MP, I can understand it. I can understand why. Moving on, we have another cooldown ability. She actually gets 3 at 7-star. Available turn 1 to 5-turn cooldown. It says 6-turn, but again, guys, you have to understand it counts the turn that you use it. So it's essentially 5. Auto revive 80% to herself for 4 turns. Refresh 200 MP, split over 4 turns to herself. Enables her to triple black cast for 3 turns. So, in which case, you do the Imperil, you can cast this ability if you'd like. For 3 turns, you're going to be able to go ahead and triple black magic cast. It could be double Tornado, it could be Tornado Erosia, it could be Tornado plus her new ability, which we'll talk about in a minute. Stack that bad boy up, finish that up, whatever you guys want to do. She has access to triple black cast on turn 1, and it's for a lot of turns. It's not just like, it's 3 turns. It's not just 1 turn or 2 turns. 3 turns is a lot. Looming Tempest, very great ability there. And she gets an auto revive and MP refresh. Seems great to me because her shit costs a lot. Moving on down, we have Omnia's Forecast. 5-turn cooldown available on turn 6, so you have to wait all the way to turn 6. Reflect 1 spell for 3 turns to all allies. So that means, remember the whole reflect thing where it gets cast, for each person that it has reflect on, you do AoE, it casts it back. That's going to be important because you can put the reflect on everybody. 1 spell, just reflect everybody. Something to look into. Increase magic 150% for 3 turns to cast her. So that's going to be a big magic increase. Increase magic 300%. Max 300%, that's the maximum you can get in combat with the buff, for 1 action to cast her. So what you guys are going to be able to do is cast this ability if you'd like. I am unsure. You cast this ability and then you can, just finish. You can chain. You can do whatever. But that's magic 300%. You're doing a lot of damage there. Honestly, that ability, I'm going to have to see how the damage goes. We'll have to do damage calculation to see if you actually want to put this into your rotation or not. I know it's a huge magic increase, and you probably are going to want to do it, but it is a turnoff from being able to do anything else. So that's just something to keep in mind. Moving on down to her 7-star, let's see, her 7-star passives here. You have to put her TMR on, and remember that her TMR is the killer ability. So, sorry, it's the Barbariccia Spirit, increase HP 30%, and then magic damage against humans, beasts, birds, stones by 50%. Very strong TMR there when we're being able to fight those specific ones. So if we put that on, you increase damage against beasts, birds, humans, and stone monsters by 50% more. So it's a 100% killer she has now, if you have her TMR on with this. It also increases modifiers to Erosia, Flurry, and Tornado. Okay, so that's in a whole, just more damage. Okay, increase MP 20%. We're gonna need that MP to be able to do this much damage, because her costs are gonna be up there, especially with her cooldown abilities. Increase magic spirit and HP 20%. Increase magic 50% when single wielding any weapon. Increase magic 50% when dual wielding. Okay, so either way, you're getting 50% magic, helping you hit that cap. Moving on down, triple black magic. Remember, we have to use Lumion Tempest for that. Use black magic thrice in one turn. Going to be very, very strong. Let's move on down. We already knew she had Tornado. Raging Wind. Okay, this is her, like, her new ability that we get to use with her, okay? Wind magic damage 1.2 times, okay? So it's a little bit different than Erosia, but they're similar, and I'll show you. So Erosia is AoE and can be stacked up to it only takes 4 times to stack it up, to a 6 times maximum multiplier, where Raging Wind is a single target, so that's when we're fighting maybe a single target boss. You can stack it up to 9 times to stack it all the way up to a 12 times max. And this is going to be actually really doable with the ability to triple black magic cast if you'd like to do that. Cast it 3 times, cast it 3. You know, you're going to be able to build it up within a fight and keep that going. So amazing. Honestly, amazing there. Very, very excited about that. I wanted to see, where is the flurry technique? I wanted to, maybe I'm misremembering. There's the flurry right there. Okay, just making sure. I was like, where's flurry? I don't remember because it wasn't very good. So if you look at our maxed out limit burst in Maelstrom, lightning and wind magic damage 5.4 times with ignore defense 50%. So, you know, to all enemies. Not the best multiplier, but not the worst. Decrease lightning and wind resist by 104% for 3 turns to all enemies. Hits 9 times. Could probably chain up with another Barbariccia, obviously. 20 limit burst crystals. Overall, you know, not the best limit burst in the world, but I want to be casting it for that Imperil. However, again, she has on command 120%. So, not on command, sorry, but it's pretty much on command. You're missing out on 1 turn of having that up if you cast that ability, and you're not missing out on damage because she can still chain. You know, it's tornado chain. You can chain with any tornado chainer. She's going to be able to chain, like, 10 mans are going to be great with her as long as they don't resist wind or lightning. Now, you got to be careful about that. That's where Barbariccia is kind of going to, you know, falter. Obviously, she's a very good wind mage. We knew that from the beginning. She just got better at doing that. She obviously has support elements from her 6-star kit. I rate Barbariccia really high. I think if something's weak to wind, better watch the fuck out. But if it's resist to wind, she's not going to be usable. She's definitely up there, in my opinion, with Transterra. As long as you can do your wind damage, build up those wind chains, finish with those, you're going to be able to do the damage. There's no drop off like with Transterra, but she also doesn't do extreme high damage at the beginning of the battle like Transterra can with the quad cast. However, she does have these killer abilities passively in her magic kit, allowing her to do even more damage as long as she's fighting one of those killer abilities. So I rate Barbariccia actually pretty high. I'm very happy with what they gave her. And yeah, so you should be happy about making your Barbariccia a 7-star and leveling her up. So next up, we did get Veritas of the Light, Veritas of the Flame, and Veritas of the Dark enhancements changed to 7-star awakenings, excuse me. And honestly, I'm going to just go ahead and blanket it. We're going to go really quickly through these. I don't think any of them are very stellar. They have their uses, but not that much. So just like all the, you know, the Veritas of the, etc., it looks like they're going to have this STMR where they have, you know, very good stats put on armor, along with their element being 80% resist. And I think these are pretty good STMRs, in which case I think you should get them. I don't think any of these 3 that I'm about to name, those 3 that have flame, dark, or light, you should keep 2 7-stars up for chaining or anything like that. They're not good enough for you to be worrying about that, but their armor can be very helpful. First off, the stats are good. Second off, when building an elemental tank to maybe magic AoE defend, this is going to be great for you. So that I'm going to quickly cover these. Again, they're all pretty much the same. They all have high stats. They have very good stats, and they also have the resistances, which is very good too. Moving on down, let's see what Veritas of the Light gets. I feel like Veritas of the Light is Veritas Light is good. Very, very good to above average good unit. However, just not a lot of love. Hybrid damage dealer that isn't on your friend list, things like that. But let's see what 7-star gives her. Let's see. Increased light resist 100% for all allies except for caster. She absorbs light, so that's going to be good for you there. I mean, that's going to be phenomenal if you're fighting. You know, that's a support. That's good enough to just bring her as a support. I mean, we've done that before with Earth Veritas and Veritas of the Dark, etc. Not photosynthesis, but photolysis. Remove all debuffs from one ally. I mean, yeah, it's good. It's better than kicking your dude in the head, I guess, with CG Nickel, but, I mean, CG Nickel is a better unit. Saint Eraser, so can't use it till turn 5. It's got a 4-turn cooldown. Light hybrid. That's my West Virginia coming out. Light hybrid damage 40 times to all enemies. That is a massive hit, okay? That's a massive finishing hit. Even if it's hybrid, 40 times is absolutely insane. However, you have to wait 5 turns and then 4 turns after that, and 4 turns after that. I'm not saying she's terrible, but it's not, I mean, that's it. That's all we get for her 7-star abilities. Just saying. If we put her TMR on her, she gets a buttload of stats, and she gets physical and magic killers. Only 25%, but again, she is hybrid, so that's going to help her out with that. Moving on, she gets magic increased, she gets some limit burst fill rate, and she also gets 50% attack and 50% magic when dual wielding, helping her stats get a little bit higher. Moving on down to her limit burst at 7-star, light hybrid damage, 25.2 times to all enemies, decreased defense and spirit 74% for 3 turns to all enemies. So, in any case, if you need a breaker, you don't have a breaker, this is an insanely high break. That could be your use for her. She could be there for the light resist. She could be there for the finishing move if she stays in your party for that many turns to do that hybrid finishing move. And then she could also be your breaker if you need to. 30 limit burst crystal is pretty high though. I'm not saying this doesn't do a crap ton of damage either. I mean, she does do a lot of damage, but not on the damage scale of other 7-stars. So I'm gonna say she's not really worth it in the end. Her STMR is excellent, but as far as 7-starring, I just don't see that it is worth it. Next up, we have Veritas of the Flame getting up to a 7-star awakening. We can remember Veritas of the Flame being the first like fixed dice user people really wanted to use with his countering, 100% fire and peril, etc. But now let's see what he does at 7-star. So if we look again, we have another armor with the 80% fire resist like we talked about. Each of these will have that with some great stats as well, a high attack stat, high defense stat. Remember, when we see these attack stats, don't think weapons, think armor. Armor, it's very hard to get these high stats on armor pieces. It's very important to make sure you look at that. Moving on down, we're going to look at the 7-star abilities. Big swing. Physical damage 6 times to all enemies, so it's going to be able to just AoE slap everybody. Inflict paralyze 90% to all enemies. So in the arena, if you want to slap this guy on your team, there are arena updates, by the way. Check your game. You're just going to go in there, and you're going to be able to just maybe paralyze everybody. And if there's a boss at some point that can be paralyzed, hey, there's a use for that there. This is very cool too. Increased physical damage against humans 50% for 3 turns to 1 ally. So he's able to bestow a human killer on anybody that he wants. So he does have some supporty effects to him, and I like this. I think it's very useful when you're trying to push a threshold maybe, when you're trying to 1-turn KO. If it's a human, this is going to be 50% more you can use. Anger Blaze. Available turn 1, 3-turn cooldown. Increase attack 200% for 2 turns to caster, so he increases his attack greatly. A chance to counter physical attacks taken from all allies, except for himself, by 100%. So, if you have someone like a tank, a provoke tank, cover tank, taking physical hits, he's going to counter with Anger Blaze, if it has been cast. With a physical attack, 6.4 times to 1 enemy for 2 turns. So for 2 turns, he's going to be able to do that. He's going to do a maximum of 2 per turn. It'd be crazy if they didn't put that on there. So he's going to be able to actually do a lot of damage. I know there's some, when you push a threshold, if you do it through countering, there's a little bit of cheese where the boss won't actually do what they're supposed to do if you do it through countering, because it's essentially the enemy's turn in that case, I guess is how it works in the game. So he's going to be able to help you do that if you want to do more of that. That seems great. Okay, available in 4 turns. Fire physical damage 30 times to 1 enemy. And the cool thing about this is it says fire physical damage. So, if you can get to this turn, you've used your Veritas of the Flame, you've gotten to this point, you're doing it for whatever, putting human killer, doing a little bit of counter damage. If you have fixed dice on him, you roll high, you use this, it's going to do a lot of damage. Especially if you're finishing a chain, especially if you if the opponent is already fire imperiled. That's a butt ton of damage, man, with a fixed dice build. Insane, okay? Moving on down to a 7-star stuff. If we put his TMR on, which I do believe is the axe, axe and heavy armor attack up. So it's it's pretty easy to put on and fit into a build. Increase MP and HP by 20%. Increase counter chance by 100%. Awesome. Chance to ignore fatal damage 100% when above 50%. I think it's one of the strongest abilities in the game. Increase attack 50% when equipped with an axe. I don't even know if we're putting an axe on him. I like fixed dice, dude. I love the fixed dice. Might as well use it and abuse it while you can. Mitigate damage taken 10%. So it takes 10% less physical damage. Increase attack and defense 50% when equipped with an axe. Again, I think I like fixed dice on him personally. Moving on down, let's look at his limit burst. Fire physical damage 7.4 times with ignore damage 50% to all enemies. Just a big hitting limit burst, nothing special there. So in the end, I think he's okay. I actually can see him being useful again, playing a little support role. You can see he can buff people. He can take a little damage mitigation on everybody. It would have been cool if he had 100% fire resist he could put to everybody. But then I think he might be started getting a little too good. He can cast this, do a little bit of physical hits, and then he can get to this big hitting ability and probably just knock the shit out of somebody. So he's okay, he's decent. I can see uses for him. Again, not that high up on the list though, not that great. Moving on to Veritas of the Dark getting his 7-star upgrade. We'll look at Dark Lord's armor. You know, do not say his name, Voldemort. Attack 34, defense 34, spirit 24, dark 80%. Again, I do believe if you have enough of these, get these STMRs, man. They're going to be useful in the future, obviously. Scrolling on down, this is the... I'm hoping that he's good, because I love Veritas of the Dark. You guys knew that I drew him very well at FanFesta. Don't say another word about it. 7-star Dark Blade of Vengeance. Physical damage 6 times to one enemy. Decreased dark resist 65% for 3 turns to one enemy. It looks like it's 0, 14, 88888. What is that? That's weird. That's weird. That's weird. That's all I'm gonna say about that. I don't like that. No. Encroaching Darkness. 5-turn cooldown available in turn 1. Cool. Increase attack, defense, magic, and spirit by 220%. Poggers! Mitigate damage 30% for 3 turns to caster. Heal. MP refresh. Increase limit burst gauge. That's a very nice buff you could put on yourself. I like that. However, it doesn't look like he's getting anything else. Maybe Dark Punishment's going to be improved here, because this was his main chaining ability. Remember, it does it with Divine Ruination. This is going to be his main damage dealer, I do believe. I mean, while this is at 6 times, I don't know what those chaining frames are. That's weird. 65% apparel is okay. Let's move on down. Put his TMR on, which actually you're going to. It's a very nice TMR. We all know what it is. Increase defense, spirit, HP at 20%. Increase resistance, sleep, and confuse. Awesome. Upgrades limit burst. So it looks like they're trying to make you use his limit burst. So let's figure out what that's all about. He has true dual wield at 30%. So hey, true dual wield users are always going to be behind true double hand users for now in the meta, but hopefully in the future they get their stake. And guys, I want you to remember that while these units aren't the best, they are obviously better than their 6-star counterparts. So if you've been using these units, or you only have 6-star damage dealers, these 7-star damage dealers in most cases will be better for you. So just be aware of that. Make sure you do a little research in your own team. Increase limit burst damage 30%. Okay. Again, they're wanting us to use a Slimmer Burst. Increase modifier 1 times the Dark Edge, Dark Punishment, and Dual Slash. Increase modifier 0.5 times the Dark Blade of Vengeance. So, we are getting Dark Punishment put up by, it's sadly, okay, so we have a 1 times modifier on that. And then we change it up here to, let's see. So it'll be a 3.6 going up to, what is that? 7.2, I think? 7.2 times? I'm real bad at math, quick math. You guys know that, Gorilla Math. It's low IQ. So it's not the worst, but again, I think he's going to be around Orlando level is what he's seeming like. He just seems like the dark version of Orlando. That's the way we thought of it before. Let's see about this limit burst though. Can this save him? Dark physical damage 10 times to all enemies. Plus, I do believe this is before the 30% increase to his limit burst damage. She's going to do 30% more. Decrease attack and defense 74% for 3 turns to all enemies. Okay, so damn good break, right? 74%, that's damn good. Plus, it's going to do a lot of damage, but it's going to be dark damage. Remember that. It's going to be dark physical damage. Overall, again, he may be, if I had to rank the Veritases right now, the ones we just talked about, it's probably going to be Veritas of the Dark because of his chaining ability, Veritas of the Flame, and the Veritas of the Light. If this is your only damage dealer, you're going to be looking, again, he could chain with the Heos of the world, but you're going to want to put a flame weapon on him or a lightning weapon on him to match that Heo. He's going to do a little bit more damage with that Dark Punishment. He's got this big buff he can put on himself, and then his limit burst is going to be able to break. I can see a lot of uses out of him. Again, not the strongest physical damage dealer, not the best 7-star unit, but there are uses for them, and that's what I'm trying to explain to you guys here. Next up, we have Rem, and my God, she's good, dude. She's real good. Looking at her STMR, we have, I'm gonna try to say this right, Betrothal Ring, FF Type 0. Let's go ahead and click on that so you guys can read into this a little bit better. Magic 40, Spirit 40, Magic 40%, Spirit 40%. This ring is absolutely nuts. I think her TMR is absolutely nuts as well, and love. All that HP, all that MP, very, very great. Get this STMR. It is broken. You don't need 2 rims. First off, you're not going to need 2 rims. So just 2 7-star rims, excuse me. So get the STMR if you can. Moving on down, let's look at what she gets at 7-star, and it's a lot of good things. We do have this ability here, Flying Daggers, and it's going to be similar. Physical attack with magic damage, essentially meaning that killer abilities and elements should be applied to it. 6.4 times one enemy. Decrease spirit 60 for 3 turns to one enemy. Pretty good. This could be used as a finishing ability. If we look at Dagger Boomerang, it builds up to a 6.2 times after maxing it out, and it has the same things. Remember, I don't know if you guys remember using Rem before with Dagger Boomerang. This is the better. Dagger Boomerang, but 10 times better. She can be a finisher on your team with this, because remember, she's getting killer abilities applied, she's getting element applied, and she's breaking 60% spirit. I like it, and it is magic damage, so it's going to be applied to the spirit. Undying Aspiration. Okay, turn 1, available turn 1. 5-turn cooldown after that turn to use it. Auto revive 80% HP for 3 turns to all allies. So remember how back in the day it would be like, or even now, be like, build up Riku's Limit Burst, cast it maybe in 2 turns, maybe in 3. Or you would use Fina to cast a couple of re-raises on turn 1, hoping they don't die. Rim comes in and just literally puts re-raise on everyone. And it's just like, what's up? And then you have to wait 5 more turns, you can do it again. But not only that, I think that ability alone would have been so strong, but they added more to it. Mitigate damage taken 20% for 3 turns to all allies. Maybe to keep that auto revival in there a little bit longer. Increase defense and spirit by 100% for 3 turns to all allies. And this ability is fucking broken. I love this ability. In any case where you're really scared of like dying immediately in a couple of turns, take a Rim with you. Cast it on her team. Pop her back in the 10-man. Pop her back on the other side if you don't want to use her anymore. But that ability is incredible. And let's talk about MP, because we've been having problems with MP with the Hasiko trial, however you say his name. I always want to say the somebody else from Hunter x Hunter, but hey. Recover MP 180 to all allies. However, I need you guys to look at this. It does cost, it looks like LB crystals. She's going to have some LB crystals. She can't do this on command. However, once you build up the LB, you can just start recovering MP 180 to all allies. That is a shit ton of MP, just to let you know. You guys know that. Summon Edelon. Again, this is similar to what Ace does, except for she's much, much better than Ace in my opinion. Increase evocation gauge 10, and she blows herself up. So in which case you need to summon really quick. Boop, she's dead, she comes back. But the thing is, you can cast Undying Aspiration. Next turn, summon Edelon, she dies, she comes back. Because she put the re-raise on everybody. Hello! That's pretty good. Moving on down. If you put her TMR on, which is Love, which is a very strong TMR. I wish I had more of them. Increase Magic and Spirit 30%. Increase modifier to Dagger Boomerang by 2 times. Uh-oh. So now they're trying to make you want to use Dagger Boomerang now. They're making you want to use Dagger Boomerang, so I give that 2 times. Maybe, okay, so maybe you just go, boom, Flying Daggers, and then you go, boom, Dagger Boomerang, and start building it up. I don't know. And also, I just want to let you guys know, because it's like physical, if she's dual wielding, she will cast it twice, from what I understand. So, pretty good there. We're looking at these passives some more. Chance to counter physical attacks 50% with Healing Prayer. I don't know. I hope she's not getting hit by physical attacks, but if she does, hey, 50% is a high-ass number. Increase defense 20%. Increase HP and MP 20%. Increase magic and spirit 30% when equipped with a dagger. We putting that dagger on. Increase equipment magic 30% when dual wielding. She has true dual wield magic edition. Nice. Healing Prayer is just when she gets hit, 50% chance to counter with it. Cure all status mounts on all odds was really cool, and then she has a big-ass heal to go along with it. I love it. I love it. Then we all know about all of her cool magic she can use. She has very good, she actually gets Kuraja. She's going to be able to heal as well. She could take the place of a healer even, right? She could. You slap a dual cast on her, she can heal, she can re-raise, she can raise. There's not, you know, there's a difference, obviously, between a definite healer and her, but she does all the right things, baby. Rim does everything you want her to do. If you're missing out on a 7-star healer or CG Fina or Ayaka, etc., hey, Rim's got you. Rim's got you covered. She can also tornado cast. So that dual cast is going to help you be able to chain with, who did we just talk about? Barbie. That's right. She can Quake cast. Quake hasn't been used as much, but hey, it's something to have there. Moving on now, let's look at the Limit Burst, which is big magic damage, 50% spirit, but I don't even think I'm ever casting a Limit Burst. I'm saving all of her Limit Burst crystals for this MP conversion. So overall, I think Rim is one of the higher tier 7-stars we have right now as far as supports go. She has very good unique abilities. She has a great STMR. She can be very useful for you guys out there, again, that don't have access to a really high tier 6-star or 7-star healer. She can take that place and be very good. High marks for Rim. So that's going to do it for our first part, breaking down these new 7-star Awakening units. The second part will be uploaded later today. I will have some things in the description to click onto each character just in case you want to rewatch them, or go to specific ones that you have. That way, and you know, you just want to get straight to the good stuff. I appreciate you guys watching this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Comment down below which one you're upgraded and who you're excited about. And then subscribe. Please subscribe. Please, I really need some more subscriptions. Please, 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 please. Yes, I'm begging. #beg for subs. And we'll catch you guys in the next video.